Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to be setting up my Insta360 Ace Pro. Sadly, I don't have the 2 yet, but it's coming in the mail from Insta360. In addition to, I'm going to be using my Insta360 X4. The X4 is going to be the generic position, the third person off of the back using the action stick. But with the Ace Pro today, I'm trying a little bit of a different mounting position outside of my norm. And it's going to be on the very end of the left side clip-on. Don't ask me why, I just thought it would be kind of an interesting shot. I'm not going to go through the whole process of recording it, then sitting on my computer and editing it. But if that's something you guys do want to see at some point, how I edit footage from this bad boy or even the X4, just go ahead and leave something in the comments and I can kind of give you guys the breakdown of what I do in either DaVinci Resolve or CapCut, the LUTs I use, power grades, and all those kind of fun things. So today we're going to mess around with these, but I'm going to show you guys my settings really quick, just so you know what they are and what I'm using on each camera. So for the Ace Pro specifically right now, I am using, let's brighten this up so you guys can kind of understand. So for the Ace Pro right now, I'm going to be using 8K 24 frames per second. Generally though, I would be shooting at 4K 30 or 60 frames per second. But just for today's video that I'm shooting, I'm going to go 8K at 24. I generally use my manual settings. Now for today, I'm shooting at an IS or shutter speed of 150 because my frames per second is 24. So frames per second times 2, but since I don't have 48, we're going to go with 50. Now the ISO is the tricky part where you have to adjust it per the sun and your ND filter. I'm using an ND32. ND30, I don't know, it's not going to focus. ND32 because my 16 has a crack in it, but to compensate, I just have increased the ISO up to 200. Now it varies from camera to camera, person to person, what your personal preference is, but I'm just going with ISO 200 today. Left my white balance as auto, turning my sharpness down to low because I can add sharpness in post-production. And then one other thing that I also recommend is you go over to your settings, your image settings. Anti-flicker, I leave it auto, bitrate at high, and video encoding at 265. Now let's do the X4. It's the daytime right now, so the settings on this might be a little bit different. So I'm going to go for the 5.K or 5.7K plus at the 30 frames per second, just so it's a bit more smooth as I'm riding. Nothing on this has changed. This all remains the same. White balance, since I'm not riding at night, I'm not putting on low light stabilization, standard color profile, just as it is, and that's basically it. Hopefully the glare wasn't brutal, I do apologize. Like I said, mounting positions, pretty generic, so we're just gonna set them up for you guys real quick. So, if you guys have been following, you know that I primarily, or not really have an option anymore, but I ride my 2024 Kawasaki ZX6R. So this is basically what I'm going to be mounting the camera on. Whoops. First one I'm going to mount is the X4. As I mentioned, it's a straightforward mounting position. Nothing crazy for today, but if you guys have any other ideas about where I can mount it on this, let me know. I have sticky pads, U-bolts, clamp mounts, you name it, I have it. I can stick it somewhere. So for today, we're going to take this and just screw it in there. Just like that. Now, what I generally try and do is adjust it so the stitch line falls on the tail of the bike. Because if it's straight up, then it has a stitch line cutting through my body or a stitch line sideways. So I always try and adjust it so the stitch line is basically parallel with the bike. I'm gonna bring the camera back here and show you guys what I mean. Okay, so to explain, the bike is basically like this, but my camera is this way. So my stitch line would be like that across my body and the bike. So generally what I try to do is get the camera with one lens facing directly up and one lens facing directly down, this way with the tail of the bike. So generally what that entails is just loosening it, taking a look. It's about to rough it out, let's say about there. Oh. Now, when we look at it, this looks pretty straight with the bike. That's a bit better. Now for the Ace Pro, I also have my ND filter on there, like I mentioned. I'm gonna be clipping it on the passenger clip-on, or passenger. The left side clip-on on my handlebar. It's probably the most secure. I've tightened it down. Now, with the Insta360 motorcycle bundle, there's a tool that you can actually use to tighten this down even more. But for today and experimental purposes, I don't feel like running around my house to find it. So this is where I'm gonna be mounting it. It looks pretty cool, and it's gonna give me a different POV. Maybe it's great, maybe it's not. I'll throw a clip in there. Oh wow, is that a bee? I'll throw a clip in there and then let you guys be the judge. So I'm gonna roll this out, let it warm up, go for a little ride, and try and get a little bit of footage with it. Cool. Is this on still? Oh, okay. So back home. Personal opinion, the hand mount one, this bad boy here, it's not bad. Like, I feel like the footage from it is gonna be pretty good, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. I have big hands, so the clamp really pushes against my hand to like all the controls or the instruments. So that's kind of the one issue with it. Now, is the footage great? I haven't seen it yet, so as I'm recording this, I'm hoping it's great. I don't know for sure, but I'm hoping it's cool. I was able to kind of pivot the camera a couple different directions, try a different couple things. Still had my X4 running. So hopefully with, I guess, what I took, it looks cool. But other than that, hey, if you guys watched the video and you liked it, be sure to like, subscribe, and I don't know, leave a comment about something that you want to see me do with one of the cameras I have. That looked kind of zesty. But nonetheless, as I always say, peace.